All right, I am here with my friends Jim and Babs. They live here at Arbor Trace, and they're going to tell us a little bit about their journey as far as coming into a senior living community. First of all, I'd like to ask, how long have you lived here at Arbor Trace?
We've been here, we bought a little over a year ago, and we have lived here for the last 8 months.
Fabulous. And can you tell me a little bit about your history? Where did you come from? How did you get here?
Let me tell you about that. Years ago, when we lived at Virginia Beach, I was moving somebody's belongings to where Babs lived. And when I finished helping her friend, I was folding the sails of my boat out in the front yard, and Babs came out and helped me fold the sails. And that started a 3-year dating. And finally, we ended up getting married. My lease had run out. That was the important thing. And then I had to go back to college. Babs was working as a social worker. And then got a job in Detroit. And then we went to Detroit. And tell us what we did there.
Well, while we were in Detroit, Jim was working in sales and marketing for several companies, and I was doing literally full-time volunteer work at that point.
Wow.
Then the riots came, and not as a result of the riots, but it was at that time that shortly after that we moved back to Virginia.
I see. And
Well-
you mentioned boating.
Well, while we were there, we were racing boats in the Great Lakes, and then all the way down to Florida and back and forth. And then after switching companies, we ended up in Charlottesville, and we had a big layoff where I was working. So we had bought a duplex, and we had renters there, and then we started buying rental property, and that did so well, then we ended up buying a large sailboat, and then we started taking that to the Bahamas. And then on one of our trips to the Bahamas, we ended up in Naples. I got sick, went to the hospital, and under the influence of drugs, we bought a condo, and we've been here for 20-some years.
Fantastic. And can you tell me why you specifically chose Arbor Trace to make your home?
Well, we've done some research and been to some seminars, and we actually didn't check many places because we were looking for a certain thing, and we wanted to be independent. We didn't want it to be run by a big corporation. And we were turned on to Arbor Trace. And when we came here and we looked at the finances, we went through all the finances, the beautiful reserves, everything was well done, well kept. But the biggest thing was the people that worked here were so delightful and wonderful. And Babs will tell you how she felt about them.
Right, I know
Well-
that there's a story you had looked elsewhere, and the elsewhere may have been a better deal, we'll say, but you chose Arbor Trace.
Yes, and the reason that we chose Arbor Trace is that we just instantly had this warm, fuzzy feeling about everyone here, whether it was a staff member, whether it was an employee, which we don't even like to call them employees because they're all such pleasant people, and every resident we met was just very, they were all so pleasant.
Yes, so I'm hearing that you feel connected here at Arbor Trace. You've built relationships, you've built rapport with people, even in the 8 months that you've been here, which is not a long time, it's a good amount of time.
Right.
But I'm hearing that you're comfortable with your neighbors and you're building relationships.
Absolutely, and we are delighted with the particular living arrangement that we chose. We really love it here. We know we made the right decision,
Excellent.
and we feel like we made it at the right time.
Yes, that's important, definitely. Can you tell me, are you involved in the community? Are you on any committees, or what do you like to do here in Arbor Trace?
Well, I'm in the landscape committee, but we're involved in playing pickleball. We love the water aerobics and all the activities here. And one of our friends wrote us about what we thought, and we wrote back and said, you know, it's like being on vacation. The food is great, the people are wonderful, and it's just like Bev said,
It's a
warm and
wonderful
fuzzy.
place. A wonderful place, isn't it? Yes.
We made the right decision.
Good. And I'm so glad you all are here. Thank you for taking time today to talk to us. I appreciate it.
Our pleasure.